Imagine being a scientist in 1977 descending 2 miles into the ocean in a tiny submarine. You're expecting a cold, dead, lifeless desert on the seafloor, but instead you discover something that shouldn't exist. Giant red worms taller than humans, blind white crabs crawling everywhere, clouds of black smoke billowing from cracks in the ocean floor. Your heart races because you've just found an alien world right here on Earth. This actually happened near the Galapagos Islands when scientists made one of the most shocking discoveries in the history of marine biology. They found hydrothermal vents, and these underwater hot springs completely flipped our understanding of life upside down. For billions of years, we thought every living thing on Earth depended on the sun. Plants need sunlight. Animals eat plants or other animals that eat plants. The sun powers everything, right? Wrong. The creatures living around hydrothermal vents don't care about the sun at all. They've never seen it. They don't need it. They survive in complete darkness at the bottom of the ocean using chemistry that sounds like science fiction. And here's the wildest part. These ecosystems are more crowded with life than most sunny coral reefs. In the darkest, most extreme environment on Earth, life isn't just surviving, it's absolutely thriving. So, what exactly are hydrothermal vents? Think of them as underwater volcanoes, but instead of lava, they shoot out superheated water. These vents form along mid-ocean ridges, which are basically giant cracks in the Earth's crust where tectonic plates are slowly pulling apart. As the plates separate, seawater seeps down through cracks in the ocean floor. That water travels deep underground, sometimes several miles down until it gets close to magma chambers filled with molten rock. Here's where it gets crazy. The water heats up to temperatures that would make your kitchen oven jealous. We're talking about 400 degrees Celsius, which is over 750 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to melt lead. You might be thinking, wait, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, so how is this possible? The answer is pressure. At 2 miles underwater, the weight of all that ocean above creates such intense pressure that water can't boil even at these insane temperatures. It's like a pressure cooker on steroids. As the superheated water blasts back up through the vents, it carries dissolved minerals from deep inside the Earth. When this scorching water meets the freezing ocean water, those minerals instantly solidify and create spectacular underwater chimneys. The most famous ones are called black smokers because they spew out dark clouds of iron and sulfur particles that look like smoke. Some of these chimneys grow several stories tall. White smokers are the lighter-coloured cousins that form when different minerals are involved. Around these vents, you get a bizarre gradient from boiling hot to ice cold within just a few feet. Now, let's talk about the game-changing twist that makes these places so special. Remember how we said life here doesn't need sunlight? That's because these ecosystems run on chemosynthesis instead of photosynthesis. Don't worry, it's simpler than it sounds. In the sunny world above, plants use photosynthesis. They take sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water and make food. It's solar-powered life. But at our hydrothermal vents, tiny bacteria use chemosynthesis. They take chemicals from the vent water, especially hydrogen sulfide, which smells like rotten eggs, and they make food from that. It's chemistry-powered life. These bacteria are the foundation of the entire ecosystem. They're basically doing what plants do on land, but in complete darkness, using chemicals instead of sunlight. Here's the cool part. Many of the animals living near vents have actually partnered up with these bacteria. It's not just that they eat the bacteria. Some animals have the bacteria living inside their bodies in a mutually beneficial relationship. The animal provides a safe home and brings the bacteria close to the vent chemicals they need. In return, the bacteria make food that the animal absorbs. No mouth needed, no stomach required. just internal chemistry keeping everyone alive. It's one of nature's coolest collaborations. The chemicals pouring out of these vents would be toxic to most life on Earth. But down here, they're the breakfast, lunch, and dinner menu. Life found a way to not just tolerate these chemicals, but to build an entire food web around them. Let's meet some of the bizarre residents of hydrothermal vents. First up, giant tube worms. These things are the rock stars of the vent community. They can grow up to 8 feet long, which is taller than most people. They have bright red plumes that look like alien flowers sticking out of white tubes. But here's the weird part. Adult tube worms have no mouth, no digestive system, no way to eat. So, how do they survive? Those chemosynthetic bacteria we talked about live inside them by the billions. The tube worms are basically walking bacterial farms. Next, we have Yeti crabs. And yes, that's their real name. These white, furry-looking crabs are covered in hair-like structures on their claws. Scientists discovered they actually farm bacteria on those hairy arms. They wave their claws around in the vent chemicals like they're conducting an orchestra, helping their bacterial gardens grow. Then they scrape off the bacteria and eat them. It's like having a refrigerator attached to your arms that constantly makes fresh food. Pompeii worms are another star of the show. These guys live in tubes right on the chimney walls, where temperatures swing from near boiling to freezing. They can survive in water up to 80 degrees Celsius, making them one of the most heat-tolerant animals on Earth. They look like they're wearing fur coats, but that's actually bacteria growing on their backs. Everywhere you look at these vents, bacteria and animals are teaming up. Then there are the scaly-foot snails, which might win the award for strangest armour in the ocean. Their shells are reinforced with iron sulfide, which is basically the same stuff that makes up the black smoker chimneys. They're wearing heavy metal armour made from the vent itself. And vent shrimp crowd around the hottest areas in huge swarms. They're blind, but they have special organs on their backs that can sense the heat and faint light coming from the vents. It's an alien world down there, and these creatures would look right at home on another planet. Here's where things get really mind-blowing. Many scientists think that life on Earth might have actually started at hydrothermal vents billions of years ago. Think about it. Early Earth was a harsh place. Asteroids were constantly slamming into the surface. Volcanic eruptions were everywhere. The atmosphere was toxic. The surface was basically uninhabitable. But deep underwater at hydrothermal vents, conditions were stable and protected. These vents provide everything that early life would have needed. Constant energy from chemistry, minerals and building blocks for cells, microscopic pockets in the rock where chemical reactions could happen, and protection from the chaos happening on the surface. The oldest fossils we found are of bacteria that look suspiciously similar to the microbes living at vents. Today, the chemistry that powers vent life is also really ancient. It doesn't require oxygen, which is good because early Earth didn't have much oxygen in the atmosphere. Some researchers have built experiments showing that the conditions at hydrothermal vents can create amino acids and other organic molecules without any living things being present. These are the building blocks of life assembling themselves through chemistry alone. It's like nature's chemistry lab was running experiments for millions of years until something clicked and the first living cell appeared. This theory is called abiogenesis, which means life from non-life. And if it happened at Earth's hydrothermal vents, it completely changes how we think about where life can exist. You don't need a planet in the perfect sunny spot. You don't need a surface at all. You just need water, heat, and the right chemistry. And that combination might be way more common in the universe than we thought. This brings us to one of the most exciting implications of hydrothermal vent research. If life can thrive in Earth's dark ocean without sunlight, maybe it can do the same on other worlds. And scientists have some prime candidates in mind. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, is completely covered in ice. But beneath that frozen shell, there's likely a massive ocean of liquid water. And at the bottom of that ocean, there are probably hydrothermal vents. Europa is constantly squeezed and stretched by Jupiter's gravity, creating internal heat. That heat could power the same kind of vents we find on Earth. NASA is planning missions to fly through Europa's water geysers and analyze the chemistry to look for signs of life. Enceladus, a small moon of Saturn, is another strong candidate. The Cassini spacecraft actually flew through water plumes erupting from Enceladus and detected organic molecules and hydrogen, which are exactly what you'd expect to find near hydrothermal vents. The moon is shooting its ocean into space, giving us free samples to study. Scientists are already analyzing that data for biosignatures. Even in our own solar system, there might be multiple underwater oceans with hydrothermal vents. Titan, another moon of Saturn, has lakes of liquid methane on its surface and possibly a water ocean below. Some of Jupiter's other moons might have subsurface oceans too. Each one is a potential habitat for life. The discovery of hydrothermal vents taught us that life is tougher and more adaptable than we ever imagined. It can survive in places we once thought were completely impossible. So as we search for life in the cosmos, we're not just looking at planets in the habitable zone around stars anymore. We're looking at icy moons, subsurface oceans, and anywhere that water and chemistry come together. Life might be hiding in the dark all over the universe, thriving without ever seeing a star. And that means the cosmos could be far more alive than we ever dreamed. Word count, 1,847 words. Image generation, section 1. Image-colored illustration with moderate detail, showing a small research submarine with bright lights descending into dark ocean depths. Giant red tube worms visible in the illuminated area ahead. Black smoker chimney releasing dark plumes in background. Dramatic lighting contrast between submarine lights and surrounding darkness. Mysterious deep ocean atmosphere. No, text. Documentary illustration style, section 2. Image-colored illustration with moderate detail, showing cross-section view of ocean floor with hydrothermal vent system. Glowing orange magma chamber deep underground. Blue seawater seeping down through cracks. Superheated water shooting up through vent, creating black smoker chimney. Temperature gradient indicated by color shifts from red hot to blue cold. Geological cutaway diagram style. No text. Educational documentary illustration. Section 3. Image-colored illustration with moderate detail showing microscopic view of chemosynthetic bacteria clusters glowing with bioluminescence. Hydrogen sulfide molecules floating around them. Illustrated as simple molecular structures. Bacteria cells working to convert chemicals into energy. Warm yellow and green color palette, suggesting chemical reactions. Scientific illustration style with artistic interpretation. No text. Molecular level view. Section 4 image colored illustration with moderate detail showing collection of bizarre vent creatures in their habitat. Giant tube worms with red plumes. White yeti crabs with furry claws raised. Pompeii worms covered in bacteria. Scaly foot snails with metallic shells. Vent shrimp swarming. All creatures around black smoker chimney. Vibrant colours against dark background. Biodiversity showcase style. No text. Wildlife documentary illustration. Section 5 image-coloured illustration with moderate detail, showing ancient Earth ocean floor, 4 billion years ago, primitive hydrothermal vent with early microbial life forming around it, glowing microscopic organisms visible in vent water, violent surface world visible far above, through water with asteroid impacts and lightning, protected underwater environment below, origins of life theme, deep time atmosphere, no text, prehistoric documentary illustration, section 6 image coloured illustration with moderate detail showing split scene of Europa moon, with cross-section revealing subsurface ocean, ice shell on top, hydrothermal vents on ocean floor beneath ice, Jupiter visible in space background, similar vent creatures adapted to alien environment, comparison between Earth vents and extraterrestrial possibilities, cosmic color palette with blues and purples, space documentary illustration style, no text, astrobiology concept.